Hi, I'm Randy Craker, the interim pastor. Before I arrived 2 weeks ago, I was told that there was a major remodel project that was on the horizon. Now that I'm here, I'm excited to join with you on what is about to take place. In the middle of September, this entrance will get a total makeover. And today we have come to give you an update on the project, to talk about the cost, and also to give you some next steps that are going to happen in the near future. I want to invite Daryl Stevenson, who is the chair of the Elder Board, to come and share a little bit about how we got here.
Thank you, Pastor Randy. Let me give you just a very brief history of this project. This has been going on for several years now, particularly in the last couple of years where we've been very focused on bringing this together. 30 to 40 people have been involved in lots of different committees, and we've looked at different aspects of how we might make our facilities better. The plan is, of course, to refresh our whole basement, to make this outdoor area now indoor so that you can traverse between the gymnasium and the sanctuary without having to go outside, and it is climate controlled. So that's a big part of what we're trying to do, as well as increase the ADA compliance of the whole building. A couple of years ago, the Board of Elders designated Ken Bates to be the project manager to oversee that. And last December, we brought together a proposal to the congregation, and we explained what we were trying to do, and we explained what kind of fundraising we were going to be involved with. And in the middle of January, we made the decision as a congregation, actually 100% agreement to move ahead with this project. We had about $300,000 or more in hand. We needed to gain about $250,000 in our fundraising, and within a couple of months we were able to do that. So we had that money in hand. We want to say thank you for your incredible generosity, and we celebrate with you that we've been able to make that happen. In the interim, we've had a couple of reasons for delay, and that project was not able to be built in the springtime, but has been moved to this coming fall. And therefore, during that time, we've had an opportunity to tweak it with the architect, make it better, and do some things that we're now very happy with. So to give you some sense of where we are currently, I'm going to ask Ken Bates to come and take you through where things stand.
Thank you, Daryl. We're really excited about this project, and in this little bit delay that Daryl mentioned, we've had the opportunity to go back and look at our blueprints, our drawings, our plans, and see if there's any tweaking we needed to make while we're waiting for the contractors to start their work on September 15th. And we did find, actually we had about quite a few crew of people in different groups and committees, the building consulting group and the stewardship committee and the facility stewards committee and several other groups, the elders, and a number of you in the congregation have made some suggestions or asked about things. So in this waiting period, we've made a few adjustments to the plan. You all remember seeing the picture of this entrance and what it would look like, the rendering that we have had on the website. So we've made a couple of adjustments to it. Well, actually, about 13 small changes here and there as we've been waiting and looking at them and working further with the architect. Probably the two biggest changes we've made, the ramp inside this new entrance, we've shifted away from a wood-framed ramp to a concrete ramp. We found out that was something code required. And then we came up with a thought of how to enhance the long hallway vision of or visibility of this plan in terms of adding a little bit of a different entrance, which a little bit of a portico, if you will. That required some additional structural changes and a few other things. Taking all those considerations into effect, we met with the architect and the contractor, and just last week, well, actually the 5th of August, they came back to us to tell us the changes, all of the changes we have made would add about 20% to the project. And so that is now what we're faced with, how to deal with that. And we've sent that back to our stewardship committee to say, okay, how can we handle this? We've been very successful in raising a good amount of money. But what are our next steps in moving forward and committing to the project? We are certainly going ahead with the project. There's no question about that. But now we're asking our stewardship committee to help us handle or package the additional need that we have. And I'm going to turn it over to Paul Young, and he's going to tell us more about the plans that they're recommending.
Stewardship Committee met with Ken Bates and John Oden, had a lot of helpful input from David Mercer, and prepared a recommendation to the elders, which the elders have approved. And that recommendation includes asking two things of the congregation. First, we invite the congregation, in addition to your regular budget giving, to consider additional gifts for the building project to cover some of these changes. And secondly, we will need to ask the congregation for authorization to borrow as necessary, and only if necessary, in order to manage the cash flow for the project. Now, Pastor Randy will tell us about the upcoming meetings.
Thanks for listening to our presentation today. We very much value who you are and what you do for the church. And now we have a couple of steps that we want to invite you to take with us. This Sunday, August 17th, after both services, we will have a Q&A time for further clarification of any issues or questions that you have. And then on the 24th, we will have a congregational vote authorizing the elder board to borrow money if necessary to complete the project. We covet your prayers. We are in this together, and we believe that this project can honor God and bring glory to the work that we do here in Houghton.